Flash Gordon has landed in Seattle with the Seattle Seahawks. What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here to break down Josh Gordon signing with the Seattle Seahawks after being waived by the New England Patriots. Before I dive into my thoughts on the Josh Gordon signing by the Seahawks, make sure that you do Gronk spike the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also comment below your opinion on this move. Do you love this move from the Seahawks perspective? If you're a Patriots fan, are you a little angry that they let go of Josh Gordon? Just any general thoughts about Josh Gordon and his situation now in the NFL, not just as a player, but also from a personal standpoint, because Josh Gordon has been through a lot. And when I heard as a Patriots fan that Josh Gordon would be moving on from New England and that they were going to waive him, I was disappointed, but more so disappointed for the person, because Josh Gordon has made some great strides as a person. He's been able to stay on the straight and narrow path so far this season and has really come a long way. And he really seemed to bond with Tom Brady, Edelman in particular, and the Patriots organization. So to see him let go was a little shocking, a little abrupt, and I wanted him to go somewhere where he would be treated the same way. And I believe Seattle, first off, before we get on to the field, the product on the field, that's a great situation for him with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll and the support staff, and just a winning franchise, a franchise that understands, a franchise that I think has dealt with a lot of personalities in the past, and I think can deal with Josh Gordon. He's a great character player to have on your team. The teammates in New England loved him. The teammates in Cleveland loved him. And he's had some issues with, drug abuse and alcohol and all that sort of stuff in the past, but he has seemed, at least thus far, to be able to overcome it. Now, I know this is kind of strange to say, but I almost wonder if that has impacted his play on the field. Because Josh Gordon this season, the biggest reason why I believe Josh Gordon was let go, I do not believe it was because of off-the-field issues. I do believe it was because of the on-the-field product. Josh Gordon this season has not been very good for the Patriots. I do not see him having that same speed he used to have, the same speed that coined him the Flash. I do not see it anymore. I don't see the ability to separate from corners the same way. It's almost in the same regard, the same thing that happened to Dez Bryant in Dallas, where he's still a receiver that can operate within an offense, operate with a quarterback who will throw him the ball up in contested situations, and he can physically, as a physically imposing receiver, just box out corners and make plays on the football, which is where I believe he will belong in this offense, as a red zone threat, as a guy that on third down that you can throw it up between one-on-one coverage and he'll be able to grab it. He's good in routes like slants and ins where he's able to just use body position and catch the ball. But if you're looking for Josh Gordon to really separate from corners, from at least good corners in the NFL, that doesn't really happen anymore due to his speed or due to his route running. It just hasn't been crisp. It hasn't been there this season for New England. And I did say before, when we kind of knew leading up that he would be waived, he would be released, I was saying that I don't believe this is the best fit for him in New England. You know, the offense in New England is very timing based. It is a lot based on quickness. Usually the receivers in New England are small, quick guys that can separate off the line of scrimmage. They're not usually receivers with the profile of Josh Gordon, at least at this moment. And although Josh Gordon succeeded in the offense last year, and many would argue he was the number one target in the offense last year, he just hasn't looked like the same player. And I almost wonder if some of that is because he's off the weed. You know, he's not going to some of these things that he used to go. And it's almost kind of a weird situation where you're wondering if that has affected his actual on-field product, because he just hasn't seemed like the same player. Now, we'll see what happens in Seattle. I think immediately he becomes their third best receiver on this depth chart. And I do believe where he will replace part of the production from their offense is where Will Disley went down in the red zone. I think he'll partly replace that. I think on third down, he's a guy that you can throw a slant on a 3rd and 5 and he'll come up with it. He has good hands. He still can scare a defense at times in one-on-one coverage down the sidelines. He can be placed in different, inside the slot, outside. He has the versatility to do so. We saw that in New England. This is going to be a very different change for him in terms of the offenses. The Patriots, like I said, more timing based, very route running based. With Tom Brady, you have to be right on your P's and Q's, right in the spot that he wants you to be in to catch the ball, make a play. While Russell Wilson is a lot more, let's just make it happen. It's a lot more in that style of offense where I do believe that Josh Gordon can still succeed. And I do think this is actually a better fit from a football perspective for Josh Gordon at this point in his career than in New England. And then when you look at the Patriots, I think they also looked at, hey, N'Keal Harry's coming off IR. He's a player that plays almost exactly the same role we want him to play as Josh Gordon plays currently. And we're not going to hold Josh Gordon, a player that's underperforming for us, who doesn't cost us a lot of money, and actually vacates $1 million for the Patriots right now in salary cap. And we're going to let our younger player, who might be even better right now, that has the potential to be really good, we need him to play now instead of a player that we know what he is within our offense in Josh Gordon and is only getting a little bit older. So from both perspectives, I think it's an interesting move. From Seattle's perspective, I think it upgrades their offense. I think it helps Russell Wilson. I think it gives them another target. And I think the great thing about this is you have two physically imposing receivers in DK Metcalf and Josh Gordon. Two guys that are very physical, very big. I mean, they probably have the biggest duo of receivers in the league. Josh Gordon is big. I mean, if you see him on the football field in real life, you will say that guy might be a linebacker. That's how physically imposing he is. While DK Metcalf, we know that he might be a defensive end, playing as a receiver. So DK Metcalf, Josh Gordon, two big guys. You have Tyler Lockett. And I think it does, again, help replace some of that production from the tight end position that was lost. And Seattle is now a team right now that understands that they are going to have to score points to win these games versus good teams, because their defense is not really up to snuff in the passing, pass defense. They're okay versus the run. They're just not a special defense this year, and it's going to be on Russell Wilson and the passing game to be able to create and make plays. I will say also, Josh Gordon, he will be able to pick up this offense quickly. He's a very smart football player. He picked up New England's offense very quickly, which is known as one of the more difficult ones to pick up. And I do think immediately the chemistry with Russell Wilson should be there. So going forward, I think Josh Gordon's in a good spot, both personally and from a football perspective, and I'm happy for him. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think? Seahawks fans, do you love this move, adding the flash to your receiver depth chart? Patriots fans, do you like it? Do you hate it? Also, NFL fans, were you disappointed that your team didn't pick up Josh Gordon? Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, Gronk spike the like button and subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more NFL analysis. Peace out.